And then the same people that are the most entitled when it comes to not getting their way are the same people that will ask us, why doesn't anyone want to come to work? Because they are done with the abuse.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and
Hey y'all, hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. I'm Sasha. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, my Lower Royals. So good to see you. If you are new to the fam, welcome to the fam, my new Lower Royals. So good to finally meet you. It has been a while since I've done a Let's Chat for airport flying etiquette. Did give this video as a sort of rant, but also a part 2, because I have done another one previously. If you want to see that one just before this one, there will be a link up top, or you can click down in the description box down below. So as a disclaimer, I am not doing this video to out anyone or to make anyone feel bad or to offend anybody, make anybody feel butthurt or anything like that. I am only stating things that I really think needs to stop, because the rate that we are going, people's behavior towards industry workers is only getting worse. And I promise you, 2020 did not help. And several things happened during 2020, and none of those helped. To me, in my personal opinion, it only made it worse. So I have 8 things in my list of things people just gotta stop doing. You gotta stop doing this to airport workers. So with all that said, here we go. The first thing, stop with the entitlement. Stop with the entitlement. Just because someone is in a service industry does not mean that you are entitled to make them do whatever you want to do. Yes, we have a job to do, but that doesn't mean we are entitled to be your particular servant. Stop treating us like that. Stop thinking, oh, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to report you to your company. What does lying on us do? Because it happens so often where we don't do what someone wants us to do, and the first thing that they say is, I'm going to report you to corporate. Do you know how many complaints corporate from all companies get daily? I promise you, they don't really respond to those. They have someone else that responds. They have a whole team of people that respond to the corporate complaints. Some of them respond with good responses. Some of them respond with nonchalant responses. Some of them don't respond at all. They go nowhere. And then the same people that are the most entitled when it comes to not getting their way are the same people that will ask us, why doesn't anyone want to come to work? Because they are done with the abuse. They do not want to deal with the abuse that we have to endure just because you don't get your way. Now, majority of the people that we interact with daily are actually pretty chill. But when you get that 1 or 2 people that decide they want to be fire starters because they don't get their way, it makes it that much harder for not only us, but everybody else around, because it makes everybody uncomfortable. It's just no one else is going to say anything. So in that regards, stop with the entitlement. It does nothing but cause issues and mischief. And then when your entitlement gets you in trouble, it's suddenly, oh, that's not my personality. Yeah, right. Stop with the entitlement. Stop it. Walking up to an employee that has just walked up to a podium and they are unprepared. When I say we are unprepared, it means you have legitimately just watched us walk up to the podium. We have not even turned the computer screen on yet, don't have any paperwork in our hand or anything, and you walk up to us and ask us, what's up with this flight? Are you serious? Customer service has been at the desk the entire time. You didn't think to go and ask them. Or it's just we're looking at a computer just to see where our next assignment is in our passing, and you walk past customer service or past an active gate area to come to a non-active area to ask someone a question. Yes, we're meant to assist you and help you in all ways possible, but if you see us just walk up to the podium, give us some time. Give us a couple of minutes to actually get settled, get the screen turned on, get all of our personal screens logged in, and bring everything up so if we have anything we need to do to help you, we can assist you. If you're that type of person that you purposely walk up to someone just to ask them about the flight, knowing that they haven't done anything yet or even been involved in it, just because you want a different answer versus the one you got from someone else, what sense does that make? Just stop doing that. Stop doing that. If you see us walk up to the podium, at least give us the benefit of the doubt of waiting a couple of minutes, not standing there looking creepy, before you actually say, hey, could you help me with something? I know some people, and based on what I've been told, some people do say that they'll only go up to certain people because they look less intimidating to talk to. That's fine. But don't just, as soon as you see them walk over to the podium, don't just get up and walk right up to them and say, hey, can I ask you a question? The first thing you're going to get is a ridiculous look from one of us looking at you like, did you not just see me walk up here? Like, and then stand there like for the longest time waiting for us to get all our checks done and make sure we have everything we need. Don't do that. Stop doing that. It's creepy. Just stop doing that. Please stop doing that. This next one gets on my nerves so bad. This next one, the know-it-all attitude. The know-it-all attitude has seriously got to stop. This is because the know-it-all attitude, as I like to call it, is when people come up to you and they spew out rules and regulations from the FAA, but it's a rule or regulation that has changed within the last year or so, but the rule or regulation that they're trying to quote is completely wrong. Or they're referring to a boarding process or some other thing involving the airline, but they're referring it for the wrong airline. Prime example, someone tried to tell me how to do my job with boarding for the airline I work for, but they're referencing the boarding process from a whole different carrier that has nothing to do with the airline I work for. That know-it-all attitude has got to stop, because like the entitlement, knowing-it-all attitudes will get you in trouble as well. Because when you think you know the rules is when you don't know the rules. It's better to ask the rules and confirm them versus automatically assuming and thinking you know and then having it all wrong. It has happened on multiple occasions. And then when that person is wrong, then suddenly you're looking at us for help. It's like, no, what are we going to help you for? You're the one that knew your stuff. Just like anytime there's weather or there's any kind of air traffic control, suddenly everybody's got a friend in ATC, or everyone says, well, I just called so-and-so and so-and-so, and they told me that there's no weather whatsoever. You know that there's weather in between point A and point B, right? So my response to that is always going to be, well, does your person work for air traffic control, or are they a meteorologist? Can they see what's going on in between point A and point B? Do they know what the weather and turbulence is like at 33,000 feet in the air? No, they don't. That know-it-all attitude is one of the most annoying things outside of the entitlement that has got to stop. Moving on. Falsely accusing an employee of something just because you're upset you didn't get your way. This actually kind of falls under the self-entitlement bit and the know-it-all attitude a little bit. But what tends to happen, and it's not just happening to us, it's not just happening to airline personnel, it happens to pretty much anybody in the hospitality industry. If you work in customer service, you know exactly what I mean by this, is when people don't get their way, it's always the same kind of people. They decide, oh, I'm going to write in, I'm going to write a report, I'm going to report you to corporate, I'm going to make you lose your job, blah, 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 blah. But why? Why? People are already upset that there's not enough workers in certain places in hospitality, but yet these same people are the same ones that will write in a false report or report false information to a leader to try and get that person fired because they're upset about them, whatever they may have done or not done at that point in time, and then be the same ones again asking, well, why is it you don't have enough people? Because people like you, when you get people in trouble, you don't know what that person's going through, that they may be on their last bit, and that may be it for them, and they lose their job. For real. People, you gotta stop doing that. It's so childish. I'm sorry, it's very childish. If you are upset, you need to directly address the person you're upset with. Talk to them. Don't talk at them, because falsely accusing and writing false accusations, this is why nobody believes anything that goes on. Because when there's false accusations made, the first thing that's going to happen is it goes into a record. It goes into the record of the person you accuse, and then it goes into a record on you as well. Because after a while, when that paper trail builds up, someone's eventually going to realize, okay, there's something wrong with this person that keeps making these reports. I hate to say it, but the biggest and best way I can make the comparison are the people that constantly call the police on other people. You constantly call the police and constantly make false accusations. Eventually, one of two things is going to happen. Either the police are going to stop responding to you, or you're going to get arrested because you keep making false accusations. Stop doing that. Stop making false reports, because all it does is end bad on both ends eventually. And it's not fair to the person that you falsely reported just because you didn't get what you wanted. Stop doing that. Just stop it. This one is one of my favorites, because whenever people say this, the first thing that all of us end up saying is, okay. And you'd be surprised at how many people get really mad about that. But screaming, I'm never flying this carrier again, only to catch a flight on said carrier. People do it all the time. And they don't just do it to us either. They do it to other carriers. They'll be out in restaurants and stuff. I'm never eating here again. But yet, because they live right nearby, they go back to that same restaurant. And the employee will ask, thought you weren't coming back. Now, we can't technically ask that. Why are you flying us? But believe me, it's in the back of a lot of our heads. It's in the back of a lot of our heads. But it's like, I get you're upset. I get you're mad because flight gets delayed, flight gets canceled, there's maintenance, blah, 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 blah. But do you know how many times I have seriously heard, I am never flying this carrier again, only to see the same person the following week, if not the following day, because whatever business that they do, they have to fly us because we're the most convenient carrier that flies to where they need to go. And then we're one of the cheapest. So you saying I'm never flying this carrier again. Okay. I've seen people do it to other carriers. I flew another airline and some lady got upset because the agent checked her bag and she didn't want her bag checked. And the first thing she screams at him is, I'm never flying this carrier again. And he looked dead ass at her and said, okay. And she got so mad, but she still went on the plane. She still took her flight. So stop doing that, y'all. If you're going to say you don't want to do something, at least come up with some kind of different phrase. Come up with something different. Because at this point, the I'm not going to fly this carrier, that's getting old. That's really getting old. Try something different. This next one, OMG, this has got to stop. If it doesn't, oh my goodness, I'm going to... Leaving your luggage alone. People leave their bags alone all the time in the airport. Stop doing that. This is post 9/11. Stop doing that. That is a security risk. I'm telling you now, the announcement is made begrudgingly every single second in the airport that you don't leave your bags by themselves. If you do, the police will come, they will take them, and they will destroy them. Anytime people leave their bags in the boarding area, we always give them the benefit of the doubt of asking around, does this bag belong to anybody? Is this anyone's bag? Does anyone know who this belongs to? Is it someone that you're traveling with? Just to make sure that they're there near it, because it has to be within arm's reach. And as soon as I make the announcement that I'm calling the police and no one has moved, I'm on the phone with the police calling them about an unattended bag. Then once I've called the police, I let people know, just so y'all know, I have called the police. Again, if this is your bag, come and get it, because once they come and take it, you do not get it back. and they destroy your bag. And at that point, everyone starts jumping up and looking around, wondering whose bag it is, And by this point, the cop then came and we pointed the bag out, and he or she then grabbed it and walked away. And that bag is gone. Good luck getting that bag back. Stop leaving your luggage around, because all it takes when people see unattended bags, the first thing they do is come and tell us. And our job is to call the police. Us giving the benefit of the doubt by asking if it belongs to anyone nearby before we call is only a courtesy, because technically when there's an unattended bag, we're supposed to call cops right away. So stop leaving your luggage unattended. It is a serious security risk. Stop doing that, because then you cannot get mad at us if the police come, take your bag, and they destroy it. That is your own fault for leaving it by itself. Stop leaving your luggage alone. I said I was going to do 8, but I'm only going to do 7 because this last one is just a big one, and I just want to get this out, and then I'm going to cut the video because I don't want to make it too long, because we already running 16 minutes as it is. Getting drunk before a flight, then getting angry at the staff when denied boarding. This happens so many times. People get drunk in the airport because there's bars everywhere, because they've been sitting all day and they just drink and drink and drink. Now, I am not judging anyone because I don't know anyone's personal situation that makes them do that before they get on an airplane. But I'm telling you right now, getting drunk on a plane, before you get on a plane, you cannot do it. You need to stop doing that. If you drink, I'm telling you, I suggest either drink while you eat and drink some water to sober up, or drink maybe if you want to earlier in the day when you have plenty of time before your flight. That way you're well and good and alert and sober before you fly. Because if you come up to us and you're drunk, you legally cannot fly. It is illegal for us to let you fly intoxicated. That is a Federal Aviation Administration regulation. You cannot fly intoxicated. And once you're denied boarding, you're not flying for 24 hours. And people get so angry at us because we deny them boarding for being drunk. But it's literally a government rule. You cannot fly intoxicated. You can't. Any carrier will tell you can't fly intoxicated. You are at that point, you are a safety risk. You cannot fly intoxicated, because that intoxication is only going to get worse when you get in the air, and we cannot do it for the safety of others and the flight. We can't do it. I can't tell you not to drink before you go on the plane. 1 drink, 2 drink is fine if you know how to hold your alcohol, but don't get drunk before the flight. If you do, you automatically may as well doom yourself to know you're not going to fly it in the same day. Woo! But yeah, don't get drunk before you fly, if you can help it, please. But this video has gone on long enough. This was a very long rant for the most part. But these particular actions that I have mentioned, please, for the love of God, you guys have got to stop doing this to people. Because in the end of all these things I mentioned, all you're doing is making not only our job, but any industry worker's job harder. Anyone that works in hospitality, customer service, you're making our job harder. Because when crap happens to you, you take it out on us, even though it has nothing to do with us personally. To the point where there's laws that have to protect us, but yet when police come, then suddenly it's, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. You're a grown adult. You know good and well what you were doing. So, with all that rant being done, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. If you would like to know more that happens to us at the airport, please leave me a comment down below. If you're interested in travel and aviation, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you made it this far, I do thank you and appreciate it. Please go follow me over on Twitter at DragonPink07. If you know anyone that works in the aviation industry or hospitality industry, share this video with them and see what they say, and see if they can sort of relate to anything I've said in this video. Other than that, I will see you all in my next one. Peace. Bye.
Never say forever fall into the